Okay, we're live. All right. I love when I get the notification. What's up, y'all? John Melton coming to you live with another episode of Money Monday. And I know you're going to say, John, it's a Tuesday. Well, listen, I was a little under the weather the last few days. Please don't try to sell me your MLM products, please. I know we have great products too. I didn't bring it on the boat. I got sick on the boat. It is what it is. But I'm feeling like $1,000,000 today. And I've got Brandy Sinoto in the house. In fact, Brandy's going to give you the 10 keys to building the business of your dreams. If you want to go pro in your network marketing business, you are going to want to watch this today, this conversation. We're going to go back and forth. She's also going to give you a bonus at the end. And for those of you that don't know Brandy, she's been a top earner in multiple companies, built a glorious multi-million-dollar team all over the world. And she's not only very good at building, she's very good at teaching. And how many of us need to take some notes and need to apply what we're learning, because our business is not where we want it to be? How many of us feel a little stuck? Maybe you're riding the struggle bus. Drop some bus emojis in the comments if that's you. Well, this could be a breakthrough conversation if you allow it to be. If you're coachable, let me know in the comments if you're coachable. Smash that heart button if you're coachable. Tag some teammates, because we're going to get into the goods. In fact, those of you that are on live, let us know where you're coming in from. If you're a replay viewer, drop replay. And for those of you that don't know, I've been in network marketing now 22 years, and I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. And in 22 years, over 2 decades doing this, it's crazy. I haven't seen a market like this before, where it's just kind of strange, right? The economy's kind of weird. Real estate, is it good? Is it bad? Is it a good time to buy? Bad time to buy? Who knows? Who cares? All I know is this is opportunity in disguise. This is opportunity in disguise. Sometimes people think it's supposed to just go up forever. And guess what? If your social media is down, your business is down, or maybe it's a little harder to sell, or it's a little harder to recruit, or your team isn't as motivated, time to build some new teams. Time to get back to basics. And that's why these 10 keys are going to help you. She's going to talk strategy. She's going to talk philosophy. And I just think so many of you are going to want to hear this, because the attributes and the things that Brandy's going to get into, and she taught this actually on one of our Saturday team calls like months ago. And I was like, Brandy, I got to get you on my show and do an interview and have you share all the goods. So Brandy, what's up? Excited to have you here. And I know what time is it in Hawaii?
It is 9 in the morning, John.
Okay, so not too late or too early.
You already had like 6 hours in your day.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Like 2 hours in my day.
And it's crazy too, because for those of you that don't know, we've got like these crazy Black Friday deals. And the first day, which was yesterday, when we were going to originally do this, it was the first day, but also the only day for free shipping. And we were like, I wasn't feeling 100%. She's like, John, it's like 6:30 in the morning. Like, can we do this tomorrow? And I'm like, absolutely. But then, of course, our company extended the free shipping 1 extra day. So today is still crazy busy, but it's all good in the hood, because this conversation is going to bring so much value and fire. So again, smash the heart button if you're excited like I am. And Brandy, I want you to first introduce yourself. Tell a little bit about your story, your background, your network marketing experience, and then we can get into these 10 keys. I'm excited.
What's up, John?
What's up?
Thank you so much for having me here. And thank you so much. This is officially Hawaiian time. We're supposed to do like Money Mondays on Monday, and we do it on Tuesday. That's Hawaiian time. So we're right on track.
Perfect.
Super stoked to be here right now. I want to say what's up. I know we are streaming in a ton of groups. My chats are going off right now. And I just want to shout out to everyone and just tell everyone what's up. Congratulations to you. Tap yourself on the back just for being present for yourself and your business. I'm actually born and raised in Hawaii. I'm a Hawaii girl. So whoop whoop to any of you who are connected to island people. I'm a former holistic health practitioner. Here in the islands, we are very into health and wellness, natural health and wellness. I think it is maybe an island thing. So I was raised by a father that was very into holistic health. He did lomi lomi massage. It's one of like the most healing Hawaiian modalities. So when I got older, I got into that. The interesting thing is when I became a holistic health practitioner, I started my own business, right? I became an entrepreneur, I became my own boss. And then through that business, of course, I was introduced to direct sales, network marketing, because, hey, some of the top best products are delivered and distributed through network marketing channels. So I would have network marketing products come to me all the time. And the truth is, of course, I was interested in it. I was excited in it, but I kind of turned my nose to it many of times. until I had to make a decision to make it work for myself. So I, like many people, I failed. I tried, I failed. I got introduced to multiple companies. I failed until the moment in my life where I had to make a decision. And that kind of leads me into my 10 ways to go pro in your network marketing business.
So when was it? When was it? What was the year you got started first time?
Well, my first introduction to network marketing was when I was actually 18 years old.
Wow.
So I'm not going to do the math. I'm not going to do the math.
So you got involved at 18 or you saw it at 18?
Well, at 18, I responded to an ad in the paper. So maybe kind of similar to like our responses to posts on social media.
That doesn't age you at all. The ad.
I think I am your elder, John. I'm your elder.
You know, it's funny. We used to run ads on in Craigslist. So yeah, I remember those days. Yeah.
Well, back in the day when I got introduced, I don't even think there was Craigslist, but I responded to an ad in the paper, and it was like health and beauty company looking for people to open new market. It was sales experience, a must, unlimited income potential. So when I seen the words like unlimited income potential, I was like interested. So I got on the phone and actually got on the phone with my first, which I didn't know at that time was going to be my first mentor, my first sponsor. And he was a multi-million-dollar earner. He was like, wow. He was like a #1 earner in like a legacy company for like 10 years. Something happened. He moved to another company and then he was building new. So I was with this guy in this new company. He had all those years of experience, multi-million-dollar earner, top earner in a legacy company.
And so you were 18 and he was like, I will mentor you.
Yeah. I mean, he, you know, we got on the phone. He heard the vibe. He heard the energy, same vibe, much less experience in life, of course, 18 years old. But he was like, all you have to do is do what I tell you to do. You know, it was basically like, get as many people as you can on the phone with me. Here is your pitch. You know, I'm working hand in hand with XYZ. He's helped this many people, multi-million-dollar status, but not just that. He is a multi-millionaire, but not just that. He's helped XYZ people to multi-million-dollar status. Like, I know the pitch still in my mind.
Yep.
And back then it was still more team driven, like still more the pyramid style. So, you know, we had to turn packs back then. And that was about 20 something years ago.
Yeah.
I think 20 years ago or so. Yeah. And then after that, I failed, but I was in the health and wellness industry. So, I mean, I became a health practitioner.
Was he local? Was he in Hawaii or was it like just, so it was literally over the phone?
He was out of Utah. Yeah. And it was
we did over the phone, but it was like local ads. It was like we invited people to these briefings, they were not hotel, but office meetings. So that's interesting though that you joined literally over the phone, because not like we had Zoom back then, not like we had FaceTime.
No. Like, I had to get a fax machine, right? Because back then we had to fax in the orders, so we had to fax in the papers where people signed. Yeah. So I got a fax machine. The thing that's really interesting about this story though is that I did believe in him, right? Because he gave me that first belief in myself. He went out. He told me to buy 2 books. Right? What 2 books? Tell me, John. Tell me what one of the books.
Probably Think and Grow Rich and Rich Dad Poor Dad.
How to Win Friends and Influence
How to Win Friends and Influence People. Nadia said it in the background.
Yeah, Nadia knows. Rich Dad Poor Dad wasn't even written back then, I don't think.
Yeah.
But so I had the belief in him. He had the belief in me. We know we shared. I shared his belief of me in order for me to go out. And then this is what happened. Maybe like 3 months after I enrolled with him, he got into an accident and like died.
Oh, wow.
Died. So I got a call. I was like, we were talking every single day. And then I get a call. I'm trying to call him and then he's not answering. And then I get a call from his sister. So his sister tells me, you know, he got into a bad accident. He's basically in a coma. And the reason why I'm calling you is because I went to his desk and I saw your name everywhere on stick-it notes. Aww. So she called me and told me about it. So at that point, it was like just the craziest thing. Like, you know, it was like my first mentor.
Yeah.
And I know it was such a short time, but it was so impactful because I made decisions. I took action, right? I took action.
Yeah.
And then after that, I kind of just wavered. And then I went from company to company and I continued in my health and wellness practice. So my health and wellness practice grew, but in my network marketing business, I just started to kind of feel more jaded because I never really, got connected.
Yeah. Well, it's so hard. You know, my first mentor isn't even in network marketing anymore. But you know, she was just so impactful. Like I still remember like when because we worked at offices, like I said, so I was like with her in person. Like she's making calls, I'm making calls, and so are like 2 dozen other people. And I would come up to her and be like, "Oh, these people aren't answering their phone," or my network, they're all young, they don't have money. And she'd be like, "You can make money or make excuses, but you can't do both." Like every time, make money or make excuses. You give me an excuse, or are you getting a result? Because you can't do both. I'm like, like so. But that mindset shift, that paradigm shift, like you probably had the same experience I did, where it's like, I'd never had a mentor or someone that like believed in me or was rich in my whole like network of people, especially, and even if there were like some kids that I was friends with, their parents might have been rich, but still it was like, they're not teaching us. They weren't telling us what to do. And most of them, if they owned a business or had a job, I wouldn't even know what they did for a living, because you don't talk to your friends' parents, right? So having a mentor, very early on is a major key. And even though, mine's not involved anymore, yours passed away, it's amazing how like those conversations, they're unforgettable. And they were paradigm shifts in our very, very young life. I almost feel bad for people that like they either were closed-minded or they just, for whatever reason, never saw a network marketing opportunity until they got into their 40s, 50s, 60s. Because I do think like I was headed down, I don't know about you, but I was headed down the wrong path. And if I didn't find network marketing at a young age, I don't know what my life would have turned out to be, but it wouldn't have been the blessing it is today. So, it's anyway, super impactful. But hey, this is all how we developed into the leaders we are today, is through those trials and tribulations. So I would love for you to share like, those first like 2 to 3 major keys, because I'm sure you have it in some type of order. I'm really excited to hear this, because I think, for the people that really want that next level of success, but they're riding that struggle bus that we talked about in the beginning, they're stuck, they're frustrated, maybe their business is going backwards. I'm sure these first few keys are going to be very important. So excited to get into it.
Well, John, when we were talking about it, right, it's like inside and outside, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's strategies. So I think that's the really important key that we all have to understand, that if we want to create anything in our life, there's inside work that has to constantly be done. And then there's outside action that has to constantly be taken.
Yes.
You can't do one or the other. I mean, we see a lot of people doing personal development, sitting there and just like hoping it's going to happen. And that's the inner work, and good for them, but they're never really going to see the results of it if they don't take action. And then we got people like banging their heads in network marketing saying like, I'm trying to sell, I'm trying to do it, I'm trying to do it. But yet they're not even looking at themselves and working, doing the work. So the way I set it up, because I gave you 10 things, right? 10 ways for us to go pro in our online network marketing business. And I just have to put that in because, like you, John, I came from the offline build. I was building in living rooms. I was building in homes. Like nobody understands the pain that it is when you don't even want to travel, because when you travel, you have to launch.
Yeah.
Like people will say like, oh, I want to travel. I would be happy to travel to open somebody's business. No. You want to travel because you want to meet them, hang out with them, and have dinner. You don't want to travel because you have to be stuck in delivery. So the point is, I am all about the online build. So I do have 10 tips. The first 5 tips are going to be focused on really the inner work that has to be done, and they are separate things. And then the last 5 things are going to be for the activities. So they definitely want to, if you're watching, you want to stick around to the very end. And at the very, very end, I have a bonus that if you are looking to be a leader, if you're in any type of leadership position, then it's something you really are going to want to stick around for. So John, I'm just going to blast through my tips. The first thing, and people hear this all the time, is you got to commit, period. Like, why do we get married to people? Because we commit. We are committing to them. It is what it is. You can say all day long that you are committed, but until you truly make this decision and like stamp it and seal it that you're like gonna make this happen for yourself, you're not gonna. So you have to commit. You have to make a decision that you are going to do it. Let me tell you something. If you're listening right now, everything you have accomplished in your life, everyone has accomplished amazing things, no matter who you are, whether it was whatever it is, you have accomplished something. Anything in your life that you've accomplished because you decided to do it, because you made a commitment. Now, in network marketing business, if you just look at the business in itself, you look at people who join, you look at the people who show up, spamming your Instagram, spamming your Facebook, showing up 1 month, or not even 1 month, showing up for 1 week and then not showing up again. Do you think they're committed? Do you think they've made a decision? So look, if you can wrap around your brain the idea that all you have to do is decide that you're going to be successful in this business, and that's going to get you there, that's going to be a huge leap for you. Because when you make a decision that you're going to do it, everything else disappears.
Mhm.
Like John said, your excuses disappear, your roadblocks. When you make a decision, your roadblocks are no longer roadblocks. When you make a decision, your fear is no longer fear. When you make a decision, you're going to do what you have to do to make it happen. So I feel like the first thing we really have to wrap our brain around is the idea that we have to decide and commit. Because I'm going to tell you something. All the resources are there for you. The company is there for you. The products are there for you. The payout is there for you. The commission is there for you. The support's there for you. The trainings are there for you. The free trainings are there for you. Everything that you need to be successful in this business, in direct sales, of where you take a product, a program, or service, and you share it with others, and you get a commission from that. All of the things you need to be successful in this business is here. All you have to do is bring your decision to the table. So
I heard a really good commitment quote, and it stuck with me for years and years and years, by George Zalicki. He said, commitment is doing the thing you said you were going to do long after the mood you set it in has left you. That's a banger right there.
That is it right there.
That's it. Because it's always easy to be like, I'm doing it. I'm all in. And you're like, not even 90 days later, like a week later.
Not even 90. Later. Not even a month. Just, a month.
Yeah, they've already quit. You're like, dude, you said you were all in. Like, you were taking this thing to the top. Anyway, so true.
Well, so that what you're talking about right now, I'm going to give a solution to that right now, because we do see it happen a lot. Yep. I mean, people join a business and they work their business for a month and then they literally stop building because it feels like forever for them. So number 2 is daily mindset and personal development. I talked about it earlier. You heard me mention it. You have to do it. Like when we have a boss, when we have a job, right? We don't got to feed our minds. All we got to do is get in the car, drive to work, punch in, do the thing that they're paying for us and paying us for, and leave. Like, you don't have to work your brain in this way. Like, your boss literally thinks for you. Your company literally tells you this is what you're doing. Yeah. Like, you don't have to think. But when you step into the world of being an entrepreneur, or with network marketing specifically, like, nobody's going to think for you. And this is like something so interesting, John. It's like, sometimes like we see this happen because we see the most capable people that are like crushing in their lives step into network marketing and then somehow be like, I don't even know how to open my computer. I don't even know how to add someone to a Facebook group. Whereas in their real world, they're figuring stuff out like a boss. Right. Yep. But it's because in network marketing, they're coming from a platform where they get nervous because they're like, oh my goodness, it's just me. It's just me. And then they start to get into like that overthinking part. So when you do the daily mindset and personal development, the daily education every single day, then that is when you can start learning that you have the power to think for yourself, to come up with solutions in this business. And then number 3, John, it's after doing that personal development, or hand in hand, is knowing the person you need to become. Okay. So personal development and knowing the person you need to become is 2 totally different things. Daily personal development is taking in the knowledge, is getting the education you need in your mind to grow your mind and massage your mind and strengthen your mind. But knowing the person you need to become is you creating, is you visualizing. So on one side, you're taking in this education, this personal development that's telling you, you really truly can create the world you want to create. You can create this business in this network marketing business for you. You can build it. You have the tools, you have it. So that's the education you're taking in. But on the other hand, you now need to build the person you need to be in your mind. Because right now, the person you are and the money you make, or the income you earn, or the business you have, it's pretty much like a reflection of itself. Yep. So the person you are, the income you're earning, the team that you have is a reflection of your current patterns, or your current limits, or your current paradigm, whatever you want to call it. So in order to have more income, in order to have more freedom, in order to have a bigger team, you do have to create this different version of yourself. So as you're taking in the personal development, you're creating this new version of you every day. So I am not a stickler in like the way you say it. Some people are always like, you have to say it in the first person or in the present. You have to visualize it like it's happening, or you have to never put a negative word in there. Like, honestly, for me, you find what works for you. Whatever you need to do to remind yourself of the person you need to be, whether it's a person that needs to be more kind, a person that needs to be more patient, a person that needs to be more confident, if you need to stop doubting yourself, if you need to open yourself up to mentorship, if you need to stop doing it all alone, whatever things you need to become, that's what you need to keep in front of your mind, because this is it. The current life that you're living is your paradigm. It's like your autopilot. So you're going to wake up every single day, and you're just going to keep doing the thing that you do. And the thing that you do is going to keep creating the thing that you currently have, which probably is not that bad, but you want it to be better. That's why you're here right now. So in order for you to change the autopilot, you have to constantly think of the you that you want to be. You have to challenge your daily activities, your daily actions, your knee-jerk response to things. You gotta challenge your knee-jerk thoughts. And as you do that, you're going to start creating the version of you that you need to become to have everything that you want.
Because it really is amazing. Like for people like you and me that have been doing this for two years, 20
decades.
years, right?
Yeah.
2 decades, right? It's crazy to think like who we used to be and how we've kind of like grown up in this profession. Like it's remarkable to see people develop themselves, develop their confidence. And that's really the foundation. Like anytime you see a top leader, right, a top performer, someone speaking on stage, someone, it's getting recognition month after month, like they're a confident person, right? They have those attributes of a leader. And if you're not developing yourself, the rest of the skills, the rest of this conversation won't be relevant. So you have to make that the foundation to your growth. It's imperative, building into that person. I love that.
John, and so I got 2 more for inner work, and then we're going to go to the actual activities. So
Love it.
This 4th step is posture, which you just said the word confidence, right? You've said confidence a number of times. So posture, but specifically posture when you're going to work.
Yes.
So when you're going to communicate with people, you got to have that posture. When you're going to show up in your stories, you got to have that posture. It's only like 10 seconds, right? In a story. Right. So this is something that I have trained about before. It's called a power button. So it's like I don't wake up every day ready to face the day like a boss. Like John is sick. He's literally getting over the flu, and look at what kind of energy he's bringing. Because I'm going to explain to you, John knows how to access his power button. And for people who have been doing it for a long time, you're down, your dog runs away, your kid got to be taken to the soccer field, and they forgot all of their bags, and you got to drive across the town to go get their bags and go back. I mean, I'm even more crazy things. But when it comes time to do the work, they know how to turn on that button and be like, hey guys, how's it going? Yep. Because they are committed, and they have access to this power button. I work with clients. So one of my clients, we always talk about a power box. So I know when she's in her power box, and I know when she's not. So I'm like, when she sends me a screenshot of an interaction that she's had with somebody, and she's like, why did this come out like this? I'm like, were you in your power box? And she was like, oh, absolutely not. I'm like, yeah, because you sound like an alien. When you're in your power box, you're confident, you have posture, like they're attracted to you because of what you're putting out. So everyone has
and you have an energy where it's like, you're not trying to get them. You're not trying to sell them. It's so true. They come on too strong, or they get weird. I like that. That's really good.
So when they're in their power box, if everyone can find their power button or their power box, or at least understand that even when the dog has run away, you can still show up on social and do what you have to do. And for us, if you're building online, it's literally posting a picture, posting a couple stories, and getting into a couple chats. Like that's literally what you have to do every single day. But when you do it, you want to be in your posture, because there's no point in you showing up if you're not going to be there, because then you're not going to get the results that you want. So get into your power box, turn on your power button, and show up, just like the 2 of us are doing right now.
That's good.
And then number 5, this is really, really important. It's all about goals. Goals, and then honing in on skill set. So it goes hand in hand. You got to have goals, and then you got to hone in on your skill set. Like, let me just give you an example. Let's say you have a goal to build a house. Don't you agree that you need to then go out and learn how to build a house? I will tell you, too many times in this business, I ask them what is their goal, and maybe they know some random rank, right? So they say, oh, my goal is to go like emerald. Yeah. And then I go, okay, what do you need to do to get to emerald? And they're like, I don't know. How do you do that? What's the number again? They're like, what's how many customers, how many teams do I need? So this is it. You got to have a goal, and then you got to match the goal with skills. So I was just doing some business planning with people, and like one of the people's goals was to walk stage. And in order to walk stage, she has to build her team. So it's Black Friday right now. She's still going to bang out her Black Friday sales, but we had to hone in on the skill set she needed in order to get her to that goal of building teams. And what is that skill set? The skill set is asking people if they're open to looking at the business opportunity, asking people if they're open to learning more about how they could potentially create an income promoting products that they already love, because these are customers. So that's her skill set. Now, the other girl was different. The other girl wanted to get to a certain income amount. And the best way for her to do that in the moment that we were in would have been to build in her customer pod. So get her customers. So for her, it was a different skill set. For her, I told her I wanted her to crop dust. Like I wanted her to get out there and just crop dust every single person she knows and write all those names down. And anybody who was once interested and wanted more, she was going to get sales for them as a customer. So you see, there's two different goals, two different skill sets around it.
Right.
And that's what's really important. So it's important for you to know what your goal is currently in your business, like this month, and then work on the skills. Like if you need help, it's kind of skills and strategy go hand in hand, but there is a skill that's going to be connected to the goal that you want. That's
and the other thing is you got to track your numbers. So many of you, it's like, you don't even know what kind of volume you did last month on the 7th, on the 14th. Today actually is the 14th, right? So you should know, like, where were you on the 14th of October? How about you've been there a little while? Maybe you've been with your company for years, like the two of us. You know where you were on the 14th of last November, and the November before that, and the November before that. Like, it makes sense to track your volume, track your customers, track your recruits, your team's volume, your team's customers. All of that is so important. So I think that is a really big deal. Like, I love that. It's like, I want to go Emerald. Cool. Do you know what you need to do? Like, oh, I don't even know. Like, then that's not a real goal. That's a wish. So,
John, something you just said was really interesting about tracking your numbers. So I think for like the beginners, it's really important for them to get into their back office and look at their numbers and write their numbers down. I tell everyone to do that every single day. Like, even if their numbers haven't changed, because you want to act as if, right? You want to act as if you open up your back office and there's a ton of numbers. So you don't want to wait till there's a ton of numbers before you start opening up the back office. But what John just said, I just have to reiterate, that is so huge, because you want to know where you were at on the 10th of last month. Yes. Or you want to know where you were at on the 10th of last Black Friday. So you can kind of measure things out. It's, it's not to judge, because like we kind of talked about, like it goes up and down. And when business goes up and down seasons, there's actually like even within a decade, within years, there's ups and downs as well. Yeah. But it's still important to track your numbers in any business. There's no business owner that wouldn't track their numbers. Right. So with our business, we do have a back office. Everyone has a back office. It is important for you to look at your numbers, hold a really neutral stance. Like, don't try to like flush yourself down the toilet if you feel like your numbers are not good, and don't feel like you're the best person in the world when your numbers are high. Like, keep yourself neutral and track your numbers, because it is really important. And then I'm going to start now into the activities that we need to take, right? The external activities. So the first thing that's so important to me, and every single month I continue to work on this and like hone my own skill on this, is setting a schedule. We need to have a schedule for our business. Sometimes we think we work our business, but we really don't work our business. Our schedules are key. So let me tell you, you need to have at least a 1-hour block every single day, at least. Optimal would be 90 minutes. If you could give 90 minutes of uninterrupted time to your business every day. And when I say every day, I mean like Monday through Friday. I'm not asking for 7 days, but you have to. If you're not going to do 7 days, you have to do at least 90 minutes a day, 60 to 90 minutes a day. Something that I hear, John, like people are like, well, if I didn't have my job, I'd be able to give more time to it. Or I can't wait till I go down on my hours. Let me tell you, sometimes the hugest challenge comes when people actually lose their job, because then they lose the structure. So what I'm calling out to you is I'm saying you need to create structure. You need to create structure. Just choose 1 hour of uninterrupted time. And when you're doing this 1 hour, it's not posting. Do not include posting in that hour, because that is not income producing activities. It's necessary activities, but that's not income producing activities. Income producing activities, like we used to say back in the day, John, is belly to belly, right?
Yep.
When you're belly to belly with a person. It's not when you're writing your list.
Yep.
It's not when you're looking through your Rolodex or your BlackBerry. It's belly to belly business. So in our version of belly to belly business in online marketing, it's going to be getting into chat with people. It's going to be checking in on your customers, loving on your leads. It's going to be doing those things. And then you can do the stories and the lives and this other stuff in between the cracks of your life. But you do need at least 1 hour where you are focused on speaking to people. Now, this is huge, not just because of the results that's going to come from it, but let me just explain to you really the underlying power behind giving yourself an hour to talk to people. You are creating a new paradigm for yourself. Like you're creating a new habit. One of the hardest things for people to do is talk to people.
Yeah.
So I need you to struggle with yourself, to force yourself. Even if you end up just talking to 3 people within that 1 hour, it's still a win.
Right.
Because most people are sticking their head in the sand. So I want you forcibly to make yourself every day, 1 hour a day, to be communicating with people about your product, program, or service. That's number 6.
And it's amazing how that is the most important thing you have to do to move your business forward, and how many people just don't do it. They do all those other things, the posting, the video, like all the other stuff, following up with the customers that already bought for the umpteenth time. But that whole like talking to new people every day, like, oh, that's scary. But you gotta get over it. You gotta get used to it. I love that you said that. So good.
And that is why my number 7 is now you have to keep a list. Like, period. We got to treat our business like a business. We got to go pro in our business. And if you're going to go pro in your business, you have to have a list, because like when I talked to my friend about crop dusting, like most amateurs crop dust once and they never go back to anyone. So it's like, you have to water your leads. You have to water your plants. You have to nurture your people. And the only way you're going to nurture them is if you know who they are. And
right.
Yeah, you may start off with your first 3 people and then your first 5 people. But if you do what we tell you to do, you're going to eventually have 20 people, and then you're going to forget. So you have to work from this list. So when you sit in your daily power hour, you're going to take that list out of leads and you're going to go back and you're going to talk to them. You're going to keep touching them. I have this system where I tell people about this 5-touch process. It's like when you get started with them, when you first introduce it to them, and within 78 hours, I would like you to touch them 5 times. And you can do that so easily now with social media. In old school, we used to say the rule of 7 exposures, but that was more real exposures of like face-to-face exposures. Now on social media, it has to be more than 7, because people get these exposures all day long. So for me to ask somebody to do 5 touches with a person within 72 hours, that's very doable. And it can be as simple as sending them a video, sending them a screenshot, adding them to a group, tagging them in a group, and then introducing them to another upline or support team. That right there is 5 touches. And you can do that within 72 hours, but you can only do that if you're working from a list, because you're going to do your first touch and then you're not going to know where your second touch is and your third touch is. So it's like all the pros, they really know who they're working with and where they are in the process that they're working with a person, because you don't want to drop the ball. Like, don't drop the ball. Then you have to start from scratch. You have to build momentum from scratch again. And when you have to keep building momentum from scratch because you dropped the ball, that's one of the most frustrating things.
Yeah. Like, people brag about it. They're like, oh, I'm just not good at follow up. I'm like, well, don't brag about it. Like, get good at it. Make it a priority. Set a reminder in your phone that goes off. Do your follow-ups, because no one's going to treat you. No one's going to respect you or look at you as a professional if you don't treat them with respect. If you're not following through with what you said you were going to do, right? It goes back to that commitment conversation. Like, hey, I'm going to follow up with you tomorrow. And you don't follow up with them. And then the next day goes by, you go, I forgot. Like, you can't allow that to happen. That's got to be a top priority. Now, I'd like to ask you, Brandy, because I bet I know the answer, but I'm going to ask anyway. Do you do a physical list, or is it I have
physical list. Like, I got to write a physical list. Yeah. Because you got to keep you got to keep moving it, and then you got to keep your priorities here. It adjusts. And I don't trip myself out if I had another list I was writing. If I want to write a new list, I'll write a new list. Like, I just keep writing, because there's something that I feel that is very magical to, like, when we write and we take pen to paper. I mean, it's important.
If I honestly didn't have like a physical planner and I didn't have a physical list, I don't think I wouldn't even have pens anymore in my house. I would never even Those are the things that I write down. Out of all the things, yeah, I'm sure maybe I take notes. I'm not a big note taker though. So honestly, if it wasn't for my planner and my list, I probably wouldn't have, like, I literally would forget how to like use a pen. I wouldn't even know how to write things down. It's crazy, but it's true. So I recommend having a physical list. I know some of you use CRMs, you use some other tools, but there is something, like Brandy said, about writing down people's names, putting them in a list, and having that physical tool at your disposal. So anyway, I love that. Great tip.
Well, my eighth step now, this is again for external activities, is to have scripts ready. Now, this is what we copy and paste, right? So we're doing online marketing. We are sharing our product, program, service that can literally be life-changing to people, but we have to be good at educating them. We have to be good at getting them the information. So sometimes amateurs, well, I would say a lot of people who just come into this business literally think like, I have no, like they sit there and they're like, well, somebody just asked me this. What do I tell them? Well, you tell them the thing that they need to hear, the thing that they're asking about, and then you save that to your phone, because if somebody's going to ask you that question, like, what is it? Has it worked for you? You're going to probably be answering that question multiple times as you continue building your business. So we have things like boards. I mean, for me, I'm simple copy and paste, and I actually still use my iPhone text replace because the same things over and over, but you got to have your scripts ready. So don't rely on your upline for scripts. Don't rely on your team for scripts. Anything they give you that's extra awesome. What I want you to do is I want you to find what works for you. Like, find what scripts works for you, because you're in your business. So you're going to eventually get the flow. You're going to know the people you attract. You're going to kind of get this idea of the type of person that comes to you, what they ask you for, what steps they need to see. And you just save all those to your phone and you have those scripts ready. So scripts can also be questions that you ask them. Scripts can also be great, like informational bites. Scripts should include links. It should include images. Like when you give somebody information, of course, John, we know, like, you never want to be the talking head. So I just showed this on a training with some girls. I said, look, someone asked me for it. And the first thing I dropped her was a screenshot. Like, I could have totally answered her question, but the first thing I said is, here, check this out.
Yeah.
Because when we use tools, and when we have the scripts ready, when we have the sound bites, Tom Schreider used to call them sound bites. When we have the images ready, then we can just easily share this process with other people, right? And then they can duplicate it. But you got to have your scripts ready. So if you're sitting here right now and you're just like, oh my God, if somebody asked me a question, I would have to go to my support and be like, how should I answer this? No, right now you want to think of like the top 5 questions people ask and create answers for those things so you can copy and paste the moment someone comes to you. So having scripts ready is so, so important.
Yeah. And again, you don't overthink it. You got to have some authentic responses. And I think for me, like, I use scripts for, like, when people ask, like, what's the cost to get started? What's the monthly qualification? Like you said, there's only a few questions, maybe a dozen at the most. And it's not just questions with prospects, like maybe like the new person. They're like, okay, what now? I just got started. Like, what's the steps to success? Like, it's nice to have all of that organized, and it might take a little time, but it's so nice to have, like you said, a board, the text replacement, right? Having some like quick, even like my link, right? I do M2, boom, it sends my Modera.
I do REF and it's done.
There you go, right?
Yeah.
So we got to have smart REF for your referral link. Like, it's so smart to have like, people ask, like, what's the link for your Destin beach house? And I have DH for Destin house, boom, populates for my second beach house, DH2. So you create these, like, and for those of you that don't know what this is, it's very simple. There's this website called Google. You could Google it, and there's short little videos, but yeah, it's called text replacement. But you could also just use your Boards app. So there's lots of ways to do it, but it's a really great idea to have something short and sweet for those easy, real quick responses. So I love that.
I do want to say, John, that what you said is so true, guys. This is the part when somebody is interested, you gotta boom, boom, boom. You gotta hit when the iron is hot.
Yeah.
And then after that, you can totally be like, now tell me about your life and your kids and your dog.
Yes.
But if you start with tell me about your life and your kids and your dog, then sometimes you never even get to the product. Or if you start with like, okay, so what are your health issues? Oh my goodness, stop. Sometimes you might not even get to the product. So you got to have a boom, boom, boom to start with. And then after that, you can go into, that chit chat, whatever you need to chit chat
That's
about.
such a good point. Well, what are your health problems? Like, oh boy,
Or,
that's
or what are you looking for, right? It's done. Or what have you done to lose weight? You start with that question, it's done.
yeah. And here's the other problem. Sometimes they just ignore that. Like I've had people, they're like, hey, I'm interested in making money. I'm like, cool, what are your goals? And they don't respond. Guess what? I still add them to the groups. Like I still take them through the process, even though they completely ignored the question, but I'm getting them in the groups. I'm sending them screenshots of the groups. I'm saying, let me know once you're in and I'll tag you. Guess what? They never let me know they're in. And then I noticed they accepted the invite and I still tag them. So sometimes you just have to take the steps. But like you said, you still build the rapport. You weave it into the conversation depending on where it's going. So really good tips.
Well, I just had a conversation with a social marketer this morning, and she's brand new, and she's literally like, okay, I have somebody's interested. What do I do? Right. And sometimes it's like, as us, John, like how you said, right? I still add them to the group.
Yep.
I still tag them, right?
Yep.
But sometimes people are a little hesitant when they get started because they're just like, I don't want to be pushy. I don't
want to mess it up.
I don't want to mess it up. Yeah, I don't want to do the wrong thing, right? But the whole idea is that if somebody is actually in conversation with you, they are looking for something. Yeah. And more than likely, they really don't know what you have. Yeah. They really just know a tidbit of what you showed, but they were attracted to you. Yeah. They were attracted to your authenticity. So don't be afraid to give them all the options. So like I told this girl, no, this is what you're going to do. You're going to add him to the Facebook group. You're going to send him the links on the side that I gave you to send to him. And then you're going to get him into chat with me. Because the thing is, maybe he wants to chat with somebody else. Then he'll chat. Maybe he doesn't want to. Maybe he just wants to be added to a group and scroll. Great. Maybe he just wants to look at the link. And this is the thing for me is I just want to take the path of least resistance for people. I don't want to put people into any peg or hole that they don't belong to. But I really believe that if we give people options, they're gonna find the way to the thing that makes sense for them. And that's my style. I know that there's some other people that are like very controlling with their system, but like for me, I don't want that because I would never want that. I would want to be given the options. Maybe if I was in chat, oh, Brandy, this is my friend. She can give you more info. Or Brandy, here are the links to look at. Or Brandy, I added you to a Facebook group. Then I can choose which one it is. I might do all, I might do one. But that's really important. I don't even know how we took this segue, but I think we could talk about this stuff all day long.
Yeah. I agree with that style, that philosophy. I don't want to be that hardcore, like one way or the highway mentality. Because
we see it so much. Yeah. We see it so much in our business.
Yeah. And the thing is, you and I, we've been around a while, and I've seen people where I'm like, that's not going to work. And then they crush it. And I'm like, oh, I was way off. Like if I would have stuck with my mindset of like, never say the name of your company, now look, for me, you won't see me like I'm a rep for this. Like that's not how I do it. But I've got people like, dude, they are very loud and proud every single day, showing their products, talking about their product, and it works for them. Now, on the flip side, I have people that do that and it doesn't work for them. Could be because they're not very good at explaining things. Maybe they're brand new at marketing. Maybe they don't have a lot of energy or passion, and maybe they just haven't done it long enough. But at the end of the day, everybody has their own way of doing things. And I think, like you said, whether it's scripts, whether it's your follow-up, like, look, I don't use a CRM. Brandy doesn't use a CRM, but I know people that they're all about using technology and, they put every single lead in project broadcast and they do all this stuff. And I think that's awesome. You have to figure out what works for you and don't get so hung up with this analysis paralysis. Figure out what other people are doing, test out different ideas. Maybe TikTok's your thing. Maybe Facebook's your thing. Maybe you like to get on the phone with people. Maybe you like to lead with the product. Maybe you're better at cold market. Maybe you're better at attraction marketing. You have to test out different ideas, but you also have to be careful not to test out all the ideas at one time. Yeah. And you also have to give something enough time to figure it out. You can't say, I did live videos for like 3 days. It's not for me. Like, dude, 3 days. So anyway, that's my little rant. Go back to your tips.
Yeah, I think we can talk about this for days. Oh my
God. We totally
could. For days, because this is like in the work kind of conversation, right? Yes. Doing the work. Well, my 9 tip for external action is going to be, of course, knowing what your daily activities are. So planning your day before, planning your day ahead. So let me tell you one thing that has been like a huge help for me with my team members. And, if people want to do it, they can do it. If they don't, they don't. But I will tell you what I believe really does work for a new person or for someone who's still trying to figure it out. Someone who is just jumping on social and trying to figure out all of the pieces, because they do have to post, they do have to get in their stories, and then they do have to talk to people.
Yeah.
I don't want them to use their vital energy on the posting, but usually that's where the energy goes.
Yes.
Because it's like someone can stare at a post that they're trying to post for a whole day and then finally get the approval, come here, do the post. And before they know it, the day's done and they haven't actually done the belly to belly work.
And the post wasn't good. So
and then the post gets down. It just gets, thrown over. So, I tell people, don't even worry, just get it up there, because you're going to be doing this every day. But something that I want to share that helps is to plan your post the day before. Okay. Smart. Now, a wall post, I think a lot of people nowadays are using cut and paste. And, if that's all you can do, do it. But honestly, you need to eventually challenge yourself to at least edit that cut and paste or come up with your own content, because that's really how you're going to attract people. But stories. Okay, let me just do this really quick. Stories are the place where you are going to sell. Stories is the place where your following is going to consume your content. If you want your following to listen to your message, you need to say that message in your stories, because that is the place they're going to consume the content on Facebook and on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
You need to show up in your stories. Now, showing up in your stories can be a task for people who are not used to it, especially if you don't have the confidence, especially if you're doubting yourself, if you're worrying about what other people think about you, if you're not sure about what to post. Like, all of those things are going to come to your head. Get those things out of your head. And I'm going to give you a simple system. You use your product every day, right? Yes. I want you to turn on the camera on your phone, and I want you to record yourself taking your products. This is the simplest thing for you to do. You do it every day. This is not you creating content. Like, you're not having to go brush your hair and take this beautiful picture and, hold your baby and be like, oh, I'm having the greatest day of my life. No, this is authentic. You are taking your products every day. All you have to do is set up your phone and record yourself. You may need a little tripod. You may need a little thing to hold up your phone so it's not coming from under your chin. But all you have to do is record yourself every time you take your products. Okay, that's it. And then you're going to go about your day. You're going to get the kids up. You're going to get them dressed, make breakfast, send them off to school, clean the house, do your errands, come back for your 12 o'clock power hour. Maybe you work your business from 12 to 1 every day. Or maybe you get ready, you go to work, you get to work, you work your business from 12 to 1. Okay, then you're going to work your business. What is your business? Belly to belly. What are you doing during your power hour? You're adding new people. You're talking to new people. You're adding people to Facebook groups. You're having conversations with people. You're asking people the magic question. Would you be open to, if there's somebody who do not know about your product, taking a look at my product, right? Taking a look at a product that can help you XYZ. If you're prospecting for business, would you be open to taking a look at how you could earn an income XYZ? So you're asking people those questions. You're communicating with them.
Mm-hmm.
You're not talking about your stories yet. Well, what happened to your stories? And then after your power hour, you go pick the kids up from school, or you punch out of work, you drive through traffic, you get home, you make dinner. And then maybe you check your stories, you check your whatever before going to bed that night. Okay, because you recorded yourself in the morning, right? So when you're relaxing, normally when you just be staring aimlessly at the TV, or you just be having your time, you're going to replace that with prepping your stories for the next day.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're normally watching Netflix and you still want to watch your Netflix, great. Give yourself 15 minutes to go into your videos and then prep your stories. So the way you prep it is put them into your stories, maybe cut them up, add some stickers, and save them back to your phone.
Mm-hmm.
So that when you wake up in the morning, you literally open your eyes. I'm going to tell you, it's a bad habit of mine, but you know what? I get it done and I never have to think about it. Open your eyes and post. That's how simple your stories become. So your stories
from the night before, you're posting.
The night before. So your stories don't use your vital energy. You wake up. So you just have to prep them the night before, and you're not prepping them during like peak work hours for you. And then you post your stories, and then you get up, you get the kids up, you brush your hair, you make your coffee, and then guess what you do that day? You put your phone right there and you take your products and you record yourself again. I know this sounds redundant, but that's what stories are. Stories are redundant. That's why they're only up for 24 hours. So
That's
don't
right.
get into your head. Let me tell you, people want to connect with you on a human level. And waking up and drinking coffee and taking your products is your human level. You're showing them that you're real. You're showing them that you're consistent and you are actually building a rapport with your audience. There's nothing more powerful you can do for your following, for your leads, than to show them you're taking your products. That's it. So daily activities, I have that down, like prepping your posts, showing up every day, marketing and motivation, like daily
So like
activities.
you're literally you're just like getting out your supplements.
That's it.
You're making your little revitalize. You're taking your
That's it.
collagen.
That's it.
Yeah.
Literally, that's it. Maybe turn them into 4 stories. I mean, this is not like a how to do stories training, but I mean, you can Google it. It's pretty simple. I just want to open your mind to this idea that this is a part of your workday is for you to prep, and you don't want to be prepping or doing it in your power hour, because your power hour has to be belly to belly.
Yep. Love that. And then what's number 10? Let's hear it.
Oh my goodness. So number 10 is literally proving to yourself, being grateful for your business. You're not proving to anyone else what you're doing. Like you have to know and have belief in your business. You have to prove to yourself why you're here. Now, there are trainings upon trainings of why this is probably the simplest and best model for you to get into if you want to create a second stream of income, if you're willing to give it a chance. Other options, go open up a coffee shop, go become a realtor, go sell cars, go do all kinds of other crazy things. Let me tell you, this is the best model for you to be in if you want to help people, if you want to connect with people, if you want to get healthy, or you want to get whatever result your product can provide. But you have to prove that to yourself. You have to prove it. You're not proving it to your other half. You're not proving it to your family or friends. You have to prove it to yourself. So you have to be grateful every day that you are showing up in your business, and your business is going to push you out of your comfort. It's going to help you grow. It's going to help you create an income. It's going to help you become that better version of yourself. It's going to help you create accountability to everything you say you're about. And that's super important, that you have to prove to yourself, because I can't prove to you that this business is for you, but all the signs are there.
Yeah.
And you could go look everywhere else for another business opportunity, and you're always going to come back to network marketing. And honestly, you're always going to come back to, well, we're not. Yeah. So this is it right here. So that is be grateful. Okay, then John, I do have my last bonus leadership tip.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Okay. So we've been talking generally, right? Like to people who are kind of like in the business, and probably 80% of the people here probably are people who are still trying to get up and running. Like you're going to see that there's this big discrepancy, like between the people who are still trying to get up and running for the last 2 decades, and then the people who actually achieve success. There's like this huge jump. There's not too much in the middle.
Yeah.
So if you're here and you're like always kind of feeling like you're hitting a glass ceiling, and then you want to get to the top, other than mindset, other than daily activities, other than everything that I shared with you about, other than like a lot of it, everything comes back to mindset. So you were probably expecting me to drop this huge thing that's like about mindset, but I want to give you something really simple. And if you can understand this and run with it, you will be able to grow your business. Now, in this business, we can either get customers or we can get team members, right? And generally speaking, you can make good amount of money in certain companies with customers. And there's other companies where it's like, you really just have to recruit in order to make a check. This is going to apply for everyone. I want you to get into this mindset of getting people started and getting them going. Like getting them started and getting them going, whatever that means. So if you're starting a customer, you got to get them started and get them going. And then you have to know the steps that you're going to progressively bring them towards down. So like, for instance, if it's like a weight loss product, you're wrong if you're thinking, oh yeah, I'm going to get my customer started and I'm going to help them lose weight. And that's where your mindset ends. That's wrong. Like if you ultimately want to really help somebody, you have to help them grow. And growth is a journey. Growth is a path. And there's only so far that you're going to help somebody grow if they're just on your products.
Right.
So you do have to have a mindset of how you're going to eventually help this person get started in the business. And then also when you're getting somebody started in the business, you got to get them going as quickly as possible. So a lot of times we work with the people we currently have, and like maybe you'll have like a team call where it's like everybody jumps on and it's the same people and you're giving them trainings and you're telling them what they need to do. You're giving them updates. But if you don't have new people joining that call, then your business is not growing.
That's right.
So it is very important that if you want to grow your business, you have to have a focused piece. And this is for leaders. Yeah. You have to have a focused piece of your business where you are focusing on getting people started and going. So all the people that your team members are getting started, you got to get them going. So this is kind of big thinking, because for some of you, maybe you're just actually just trying to get your first few customers. But for the leaders, like if right now you're in this place, because I'm talking from personal experience. I mean, John, I enrolled, 10 people in the last 40 days because it's like, I am not being the leader I need to be if I'm showing up and I'm just training. And I'm showing up and I'm giving people like, okay, this is what you need to do. So I got to show up and now focus in on the thing that has to be done, which is getting people started and getting people going. And then that's when I can be of the most assistance to the people who are getting other people going. Like I can't get people started if I can't help people get started correctly if I'm not getting people started correctly.
Right.
So I think that that's a thing where a lot of leaders can fall into very easily, myself included, is just like training and just like patting people on their back and running promos and running like, exciting things. But after we had, because in my company, I had some huge things that happened recently. So it's just like I had this major like paradigm shift in my mind that if it's not me, then who, right? So it's like I had to really step up and focus in. And when I asked myself, what is it that I have to focus in on as a leader? Because there's a million things I could do when I have a huge organization. Is I got to get people started and I got to get them going, no matter who they are, new people. So that's kind of like my bonus tip.
No, I agree 100%. Leading by example, right? Showing people like, these are the things we do. We bring in customers, we bring in social marketers, we launch those social marketers, and we help them get customers and them get social marketers.
That's it.
That's simple.
If our whole our whole system's based around that, then it's actually pretty simple.
Yeah.
So.
And it's exciting too, because when you launch a new team, it's like you have this whole new opportunity to identify talent and, whether it's them or some of the people they bring to the table, and that's why I'm always launching new teams. I mean, I've enrolled 5 this month, 5 last month. I mean, I probably got about 3 to 5 more that I'll sign up here in the next few days. And it's exciting because you're showing people it's hard for me to tell people to do the things that I'm not doing. But when I'm doing them and I can say, this is exactly how I did it. These are the steps. These are the things I'm doing to lead to that result that you want. It's easier for me to coach other people. It's easier for me to coach my leaders because they're like, wow, Brandy and John and all these other leaders, they're still launching new teams. They're still ATMing. They're still doing the things. And they're where I want to be. Like they have the business, the lifestyle, the freedom, the bank account. They have the impact. Like they're doing all the things and accomplishing all the things I want to accomplish. And they're still recruiting. And they're still leading by example. Plus, when you get this good at it, it's fun. It's like you're better at sorting people. You're better. It's a quicker process. Like you kind of mentioned when people get the questions and they're like the deer in headlights, like, I don't know what to do. Like now we know what to do. Like, why would I stop recruiting now that I know the answers? Now that I know what to do with people. So I think it's a phenomenal bonus tip. And I want to go back to number 10 also, because I was thinking this, it's easy for people to lie to their upline, lie to their spouse. You can't lie to yourself.
Oh my God. I have that in the notes, John.
Yeah. But it's so true what you were saying, because it's like, I like that was number 10, because, kind of going back to the confidence thing, like how do you build confidence, right? It's like proving to yourself that you're going to do the work. You're going to do the videos. You're going to do the things that Brandy suggested with the stories and recording yourself with the products and having 3 conversations every day, or whatever your goal is, whatever that number is. Like these are the things that will help you go pro in your business, right? Eric Worre, right? Go pro, right? Like if you want to go pro, you want to become a professional network marketer. I mean, you want to make a professional level of income, not this hobby nonsense, not this part-time spare time money. You want a professional level of income. These are the 10 keys. And that 10th one is so important because, if someone says, hey, did you do your 30 minutes of personal development today? You're like, yeah, but you're lying. That you're literally in your subconscious like, no, you're not that person. You're not worthy of success. You don't deserve this. Now, sometimes we do that because we have those limiting beliefs. But the truth is, a lot of times it's because we say we're going to do the things that we don't stick to. So if you stick to this time and you show to yourself like you're going to do it, then the success will follow all of that.
The success, the posture, the confidence, all of that will follow. We got it's so true, John, because it's like if someone's just going to tell me, well, I'm doing it and it's not working, it's like, well, what can I tell you? Right. I mean, okay, you're doing it and it's not working.
It's like, are you really doing it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I did it, a couple times this week. Like how many people did you talk to this week? How many videos did you put out? How many people did you follow up with? Like, and this is why going back to the tracking of numbers, right? Tracking your numbers, keeping track of the people you talk to. And it's funny because, it is a business, but because you're kind of treating it like a job, you're not thinking and realizing like you're the CEO of your business. Like in our company, we would say, oh no, Ozma's the CEO. It's like, yeah, she's the CEO of the company, but you are starting your own company within a company, right? It's a willable, sellable asset. Like I treat mine like a real business. So does Brandy. And imagine if you decided to treat it like you're the CEO, like you're the CEO of your organization, of your business. And the sooner you get committed and you treat it as such, the results will follow. So Brandy, I appreciate you. I appreciate you giving so much time, so much wisdom, so much value. Congratulations on all your success.
Thank you for having me here. Thank
and
you.
I love that you're launching new teams. Like that's so exciting. That's like my favorite thing in the world. So congrats.
Okay, well, this has been just an amazing interaction with you, John. I value this time that I've had with you. I mean, I had a whole hour with you, so it's fabulous. Please send my love to Nadia. And maybe one day we can make it over to Florida, have a team retreat.
That's what I'm saying. Well, actually, I forgot to tell you this, but Rob Sperry is planning on doing his next retreat, his next mastermind
at your place
in Hawaii.
What?
Yes.
Get out of town.
So we will be there. He didn't set the dates, and he's not sure of which island. He was debating between a couple different dates and a couple different islands. So I don't know. Are you friends with Rob?
Yeah, I am.
So maybe you should reach out to him and make sure he makes the right decisions on where to do it. Yeah, but yeah, I told him we're in. Like the 2 dates he was looking at, we're available for both. So
is it going to be like a mastermind, like focus event? Okay, so not a big event.
Right. Mastermind, high level earners. Yeah.
Ooh, well, Hawaii is the best place to do that.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So we're excited. We'll be there.
Okay. Cool. Well, thank you so much for having me, John. This has been great.
Absolutely.
Hey,
thank you for being available. You're thebomb.com. I appreciate you.
Hey, guys.
All right, y'all. Let's get it. Also, make sure you guys follow Brandy. We're going to drop Brandy's Facebook in the comments. I think Bem already did it. So you can find her, Brandy Sinoto, on Facebook. And actually, I like this link. So this is Facebook.com/Hawaii Brandy. And then her Instagram's on there as well. So if you guys need anything, you have any comments, any questions, drop them into the comments. My team will respond. And Brandy, again, I appreciate you being on. Bye, everyone. Hasta luego.